Welcome back, everybody. In the last episode, I continued my playthrough of Dragon Quest III HD 2D. When I first started, I had rolled 8-sided dice to determine my party. I ended up with a warrior, a priest, and a monster wrangler, and a 4th standby character, which is a merchant. We last left off after I went through the pyramid in Ibis and I acquired the magic key, so let's continue this game. Now that I have the key, it's time to backtrack to the locations where I might be able to use it. It's kind of annoying because when you go through this game, you come across a bunch of doors that are locked, but by the time you get the appropriate key, you forget half of these locations. But a good place to start is the castles in the game, and sometimes the inns and towns have a second floor with locked doors, so let's check those out. I'll start with the town of Asham. Magic door here. Here there's a weird thing. There's this little demon enemy. If you talk to him, you fight him, defeat him, and then he disappears and never reappears again. Is there a point to this? I think this was in the other versions of the game, but what's the point of putting this enemy here to fight with no purpose? I'll admit I never looked up online if there is a point to this, but if there is, feel free to tell me in the comments. Norvik. I can't remember if there's a locked door here. I don't think so, but I'll go check. Nope, nothing in particular. Let's check Romeria. There's a little courtyard here. I don't think there was anything spectacular here. Now Eliahan. I guess I'll go see my mother. I should explore the castle during the daytime. There is a treasure room here. Ring of Clarity is good. Protection from the annoying confusion effect. Mighty Armlet, cool. I should give this to my warrior. I don't know if it's just me, but I find the warrior class has been severely nerfed in this game. He was by far the strongest character, but in this remake I find classes like martial artist and even the thief outclass him. The warrior is slow, oftentimes attacking last in battle. He gets almost no multiple enemy weapons, so he only attacks one enemy, and his damage isn't even that spectacular. I'm guessing he works better in conjunction with another class, like if you turn a thief into a warrior, he has better stats. But as a standalone class, I find them pretty unremarkable. Maybe I never had the proper personality on them, but do you agree with me or am I just crazy? Let's go back to the outpost, where we can travel east. Ah shit, I wanted to go to the Metal Manor, but I completely forgot. I have 22 medals. Oh, 12 medals? I guess I forgot to come here for a while. Silver platter, prayer ring, strength ring. Alright, time to get to the Kingdom of Portoga. I always wondered, the magic key is supposed to be the super rare item that I can only find in the pyramid, right? Well, how come there are locked magic doors everywhere? Sometimes you have somebody locked inside a room. Do a lot of the common folks just hold magic keys? Maybe we should just have pulled a Robin Hood and steal one from somebody. Kind of a weird unexplained thing in Dragon Quest. Anyway, onwards. Fight the local enemies here. Ah, a new wizard-type monster. Asbestos earrings. These resist fire spells and breath attacks. Very useful. Exploring some more here. Alright, we get to the Kingdom of Portoga. Obviously a take on Portugal. A lovely country with lovely people. I would love to visit someday. As usual, I like to check out the equipment for sale. This is where the decision making in the game is important. Damn, there's some good stuff here. I could buy the Iron Axe for my warrior, but it only adds 5 points of attack, so is it worth it? Is it worth all the money? So you weigh in the stats upgrade, if weapon or equipment has a passive ability, and the amount of money it costs. This is good old Dragon Quest, making these choices. So full plate armor has a bit of a defense increase, so it might be worth getting one. I think I've mentioned this before, but in these remakes especially, you don't need to optimize all of your characters in the shops. If you get into the habit of searching everywhere, you can usually find more than adequate equipment. So when I shop, I usually just buy 1 or 2 weapons or pieces of equipment, unless I find I'm really struggling with the local enemies or a boss. Spiked steel whip? Okay, let's get that upgrade for my monster wrangler. It could be a good upgrade for my hero as well, but he has a boomerang that hits all of the enemies, so I'm happy with that for now. Ah, a barrier. These floors cause damage to each of your party members. It's times like these that I miss the mage, because they learn safe passage to pass these painlessly. But, oh well, I have no choice. I also like the handy heal all feature. You can quickly heal all of your party members just by holding the X button, after you bring the menu up. Now at the king. He says he'll trade us an entire ship for some black pepper. Sounds like a cool deal, right? Before I head to the west, I'll check out a bit of the local enemies. Yay, Sizzle, the secondary group fire spell. Here we have Nordy the dwarf, an unfriendly dwarf who can show you the road to the west, but only if you have the King of Portoga's permission. So he just throws his entire body against a cave-in of rocks, and that seems to do the trick. Now we get to a new part of the continent, with upgraded enemies. Let's go north to Olivia's Promontory, although there isn't much purpose into going there at this point in the game. Ah yes, the Rottenweilers. Get it? So there's a door here, but it seems to be locked by the ultimate key. Wait a minute, is that a cat? What the hell is a cat doing here sleeping in front of the door? I mean, the door is already locked, so why put a sleeping cat there to block your path also? I can't get over it. It's a friggin' cat blocking the door. I'm already insulted in video games when they put a friggin' bush to stop you from passing on to the next path, but a friggin' sleeping cat? I'm so annoyed that now I have to go use the washroom. Negativio, get out of the way.
Nope.
Come on, I need to use the bathroom.
Not my problem.
I really need to go.
Dylan, you're over 6 feet taller than me.
I'm not kidding, move.
You can easily open the door.
Yeah, but it's the principle of the thing.
You can step right over me.
You can't even give me the respect of stepping aside?
You've done it 100 times before.
I feed you, I clean you, I do
I
everything for
can't
you.
physically stop you from doing anything.
Oh, alright, just forget it, you stupid cat.
The cat wins again. Although I don't know if I can consider this a victory. He does himself in most of the time.
I guess we'll move on. I assume the cat's there because one of the portals leads you to Menoza, a kingdom that you can only reach using a specific portal. So even when you get the key, I'm assuming they don't want you to reach the portal from this location. But still, it's a damn cat blocking the... Anyway, there is a tragic backstory here about lovers who lost their lives, but it comes into play a bit later in the game. Yay, another prayer ring, being handed over like potato chips. I have 5. I would have 6, but 1 broke after just 1 use. Don't get me wrong, I love getting prayer rings. I'll definitely never run out of magic. I'll stay at the inn. It's daytime and the cat's still sleeping there. Now we'll head southwards to Baharata. Alright, a cloud monster. Hell Nino. You gotta love the monster puns in this game. Still making my way. Oh, I still have a ways to go. Alright, Baharata, located in this world's India.
Oh, Tanaya, my most beautiful darling.
I love the different accents in these games. We've had Italian accents in Romeria, Ukrainian accents in Koriv, Portuguese accent in Portoga, now the Hindi accent from India.
Dylan has a French accent, but also perpetual allergies, so it's not as charming.
Alright, so our next objective, we want pepper. But this guy who sells pepper has a problem. His granddaughter was kidnapped by scoundrels. Who could do such a thing? Checking the shop again. Now you see, here they sell sizable scissors, which increase the attack of my warrior. If I had bought the axe in Portoga, it kind of would have been a waste of money, because there is a better weapon not too long after. My cat isn't in front of the bathroom anymore. I can finally go. What's this? This door is locked by the ultimate key. What? It's my friggin' bathroom! Why would they bother to lock it with the ultimate key?
Dylan gets a little too deep in his gaming logic sometimes.
So let's head to the cave of the kidnappers. Oh wow, now we've graduated to ant guzzlers. We've had ant nibblers and ant gobblers, now we're on to ant guzzlers. Ooh, you know shit's getting real. Another canna box. It sucks that I don't have the peep spell, which tells us if a treasure chest is dangerous or not. The canna box isn't too bad, but there are worse enemies later on, like mimics or Pandora's boxes. Holy protection is good, if I get annoyed by too many random enemy encounters. I know I'm playing a bit lazily here, having my party members on tactics, except for the hero. Tactics are good, you don't have to micromanage everybody's attacks all the time. However, when they attack on their own, they tend to be more wasteful, like unnecessarily cast a strong spell when they could just attack. The AI isn't always super smart, but at the same time, I do think that's for the best. If the AI was too smart, you'd just let the game play itself. But when you play on Draconian or against bosses, you usually want to take direct control of your character's actions. Alright, an iron helmet. I mentioned this earlier, about not buying every optimal item in shops, because you can usually find some of them somewhere else.
Dylan's cheap.
Nah, economically practical. Another prayer ring. Damn, they don't feel as special anymore.
Who the heck are you?
Another reason I missed the mage class, they know the Kabuff spell to raise your defense. These enemies use the opposite spell Kasab, which lowers your defense. I'll probably get smacked around a bit. Alright, not too bad.
Please, there is a lever on the wall over there that will be opening this door.
I love the accent. And yes, the kidnappers are none other than Robin Hood and his gang. This battle is more difficult than the first one. Dodgy dance, I guess. I don't know if Warcry would work against these guys. I hate wasting a turn on an effect that won't work. Let's reduce the boss's attack instead. Swoosh, I guess.
Here I go.
Ooh, that was close. Ah, goddammit, killing my warrior. And he gets a crit, of course. I have to be careful here. If another character dies, I'll be in major trouble. Holy shit! He's mopping the floor with me all by himself. Damn it, what am I gonna do now? Okay, phew, we got him. He was gonna kill another one or two of my party members on my next turn. I played through this game once in Draconian mode, and I remember having a ball-busting hard time against this boss. I think I got him on like my 4th try, and right now I'm only on normal. When I first started this challenge run, I was pondering if I should do normal or Draconian mode. I decided to keep it on normal because I expected to roll a much worse party. I could have rolled 2 merchants and a gadabout for all I know. It would take me forever to get through the game.
But you have to let me go.
So Gopal gets his freedom. He should be giving me pepper, but what luck, he ran out just as we arrived. In most other versions of this game he gives it to you, but in this version they make you visit Alltrades Abbey, which is probably the right thing to do. You could miss the Abbey in the original Nintendo game. Another pun enemy that gives me a chuckle, a battering ram. Alright, Alltrades Abbey. This is where I would roll my dice for secondary class option. I won't roll just yet though. We finally get Pepper, return to the King of Portoga, and we get our ship. Another great moment in any Dragon Quest game. Getting the ship usually leaves most of the world open for you to explore. Things always get less linear. I think this is a good point to stop for today. I will move on to another game next episode. However, when I pick up Dragon Quest III again, it will be interesting because not only will I be able to explore by ship, but I will probably also roll my dice for an alternate class option for each of my characters. I won't have to change their class right away, but we will find out what their secondary options will be. Now, I really need to go to the bathroom. No more interruptions, no more BS. Alright, screw it. I'm going through that door even if I have to ram it down, Nordy style. Son of a ass-lick. Son of a ass. Keep gaming, everyone.